I found out it was only like the second time you'd done it, but I think some of it was just a bit of the pacing. You know, when the blackouts came in, because sometimes you said like 2 months late or whatever, and that was great, and then you just flicked back round. But then there were like blackouts and that sort of. I don't know, like moving stuff around.
Sometimes it kind of kills the pace. And I think
okay, so
audience members are, we're okay with watching you like change steps. Audience members don't normally mind.
It's that kind of piece as well, where if you are moving stuff around,
you know you're supposed to do it, we don't care.
Yeah, I guess when we started, we put the blackout because we didn't know what to do. So let's put the blackout. Happy like this. Also, the blackout, they are not always how do you say, an help, because today I started the show. I was just saying in the backstage very badly in panic because in the blackout I couldn't find a chair, and I think you saw me up there. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, no. Have you guys all finished back then?
Yeah. I just put everything in a corner, then we get.
Thank you.
No worries.
Pleasure. So, and today I started with a strange energy because I couldn't find the chair, and just before the lights went on, I was like this. I thought, what will happen when I turn? Hi. And then I found the seat just straight away when I put the lights on. But my energy was totally, oh my God, what am I going to do? And so my voice went also down, and the fear.
Well, you can always start it on stage while people are coming in. You could just be sitting there reading.
Yeah, we thought
instead of
that
having to come on.
Yeah.
There was where our technical guy. There was a scene, the winking scene, where I kiss her at the end of the winking scene. That was actually supposed to be before the beach scene of the glasses, and it was yesterday. But today I gave the cue to go to the beach.
That would have made more sense, actually, yeah.
It would have made more sense. It does make more sense that way, yeah.
As I say, some of the sketches did seem a bit kind of,
out
that
of,
was probably a large part of that, yeah. That's a little stuff in the memory.
But about the story, can you,
I was just going to ask you, you do the stuff with the cup, and then you go into, which is essentially the same thing, but just in a different way.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that there either perhaps needs to be something else in between there, because otherwise you're doing the same sequence.
No, I tell you, essentially we started to work because we create everything and we don't have a director yet. We're looking for a director. If there is a director, no, we're looking for a director. We started this work just 3 weeks ago, and we had the rehearsal one night before to come here, and essentially we let it the cup. We wanted to take it away, but we let it for us to remember, because essentially of that moment, we want to do a music moment, a proper music number. But we don't have a director.
And we didn't have real time to go into a ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I can see, I mean, both sequences work really well, but what you're doing is you're just following, in a way, the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Normally,
onto that.
Which is mirroring.
We just promised to each other, let's leave it for that moment, because we will remember in the future that there we could have had a music number.
I don't know if you heard the girls singing the ladies, that, you know, as soon as the music came on, they were singing, they
really?
They were engaged. They were really engaged. They loved the music stuff.
Jackson as well, great shout with that. That was brilliant, yeah.
When you did the cough and you killed over backwards, there was just someone went, oh no, oh God.
So there's some really great stuff in there. I mean, obviously, one of the things I would say though is in terms of the mirroring, it needs to be a lot tighter.
Tighter,
I think so, because otherwise,
it's a bit.
Otherwise it's kind of like what we're actually slightly on edge, because if you're not quite in sync, so it's a bit like why what's it for? Maybe that's just the time.
We have that feeling too.
But I'm sure that's one of the things that said it's a short amount of time.
It comes with time.
I think that's the major thing. It's just tightening up, because there's a lot of stuff in there. It's brilliant. And to be honest, when I watched it, I only found out afterwards that that was only like your second performance, and I was really impressed. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So the elements of it, and it's the general story is brilliant.
You can hug him as well.
I can hug him.
Yeah, right. That's enough.
Because the great thing about this is that you've so early you've come and done a show, and you can kind of go back. I mean, that's fantastic. A lot of people kind of go for 6 months or a year trying to work on something, and then kind of do a show.
Yeah, it's the idea, and you've got the idea down.
You don't know what we went through in those 3 weeks.
That's brilliant.
No, actually, we have to say something. We are very lucky. and because we have complicity, not every actors they can. But I want just to name Lucy Hopkins that was in this festival.
Oh yeah, she was
Lucy
brilliant.
is a friend of us, and she taught us about this festival. And we came here because of her. She said, "Why you don't go to Bedford? Bedford? Let's go to Bedford." And the last day of the application, we wrote the 10 lines like this. Let's try. And James said yes. And we said, "Oh shit!" Properly. And then so we after I had another show.
Talked, but you had another show to do.
We had another show in France, and
then we had a workshop with some Italian kids in Paris, and for a week, and that was 48.
But you do the image on the marketing doesn't tell us what your show is, having now seen it.
No,
It doesn't. So I don't know.
That's something.
Really,
that was kind of rushed.
Yeah, but I don't want to put you down. Just trying to give you feedback.
you know, we have a people saying, "Why you don't call it 5 o'clock? Why you don't call it falling sofa?" Or, of course, we have everything to
but
do.
But even the imagery doesn't tell me. I didn't realise it was a comedy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect.
I didn't know it was going to be
Us too. Can I tell you something really honest? After yesterday was the first time we did it, we had the pleasure to speak with some of you and him who was there, and we realized when we step out of here, oh my God, that is a comedy, because we talk about death and we start to rehearse like an absurd piece of theater. But yesterday the people laugh. But we wanted to be absurd, but the comedy come like this, so we are totally surprised.
Well, it's such a dark concept as well, kind of.
Yeah.
People are falling in love, but then kind of waiting for their own death, and it's like oh no, just
But it's the truth. People laugh when they recognise something truthful, so that shows how truthful your performances are.
No.
And that's why we had the snoring scene in, because it was someone
Oh my God,
sharing.
I was so with you. I
sharing
stabbed him in the heart.
yeah.
Me too.
Because people can relate
Oh
to
my
that.
God, yeah, totally. Actually, that was probably my favourite.
We are quite happy, and we regretted to not have come before to Bedford, I have to say the truth, but also we didn't want to put you also in the shit. Like we said, we try. No, for real, we said let's try 2 days and see what we did, if that can work. And wow, the people is happy, and we you don't know how happy we are inside us. So we were like totally excited, and you know, it's something beautiful for us, and we want for sure grow up. And we had all a piece of a seaside. We had another number about putting the towel on the sand. I don't tell you what we did, but we cut it because we said, oh my God, in 3 weeks we have 1 hour 20 minutes show. Imagine they don't laugh. Yeah, let's do 50. Let's cut. Let's cut. So Lucy, the show of Lucy, to go back to Lucy Hopkins, which is a fantastic actress, is that the piece of Lucy, she started 2 years ago. And it's like this now, but she started 2 years ago just with 15 minutes. Then she went to 30, then 45, and now she has
I think that's how it works generally. I think a lot of people,
it's always
you know, and that's part of the point of something like Bedfringe is to develop stuff and all of that sort of thing. It's kind of half of what we're here for.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
To try it out.
Yes,
it's
fantastic.
It's exactly what the stand-ups do. It's exactly what everyone else
So
does.
what we have to cut, honestly, that you think, oh my God, this.
I was bored.
I'm bored.
I'm bored. What bored you?
you know what I said yesterday about we've said
the newspaper and
no, it was just the blackouts.
The blackouts, yeah.
That's what it is. That's all that's killing the pace.
Because personally, I find kind of on stage seeing people change where they are, I find that fascinating. So the whole thing when you said, you know, the kind of walking around and the next day and that kind of thing, maybe try and work out something that way rather than just having a blackout.
Be more inventive with the way that we change from scene to scene. In fact, you can have numbers from going from.
No, actually, we have just to show everything, because I think that it's even in a point I thought it's not what we say; it's really the spirit we bring on stage. So if they like us,
it's a style. If you were doing massive set change, but actually when the lights come back up, nothing's different. Do you know what I mean?
It's like
so you're right. We lose the pace. Lights-wise, just have a long fade between two different changes and actually do your change in that fade. So have a 20, 25, however long blackout word you can,
right.
20 second fade, and as that's going, then do your set change in that, so you kind of show a passage of time,
right.
as well as
that's a nice idea actually.
It's also fascinating to watch things changing and people changing, and personally I quite like that as well.
And that works with Peter as well because it is about the development of this relationship and how things sort of changing with it. Yeah.
All right.
It shows the passage of time as well, so it works well.
Yeah. I think also something to think about, and it's been addressed before as well, with the whole kind of marketing idea as well. Yeah. Now you've done that, and you've got the really kind of strong, ridiculous, brilliant images of both of you with beards. I mean, it's just hilarious and kind of gnome-like.
Even if it was just like that, those two characters in the beards just sitting on the benches. I mean, the title doesn't need to change. That's wonderful. It sets it all up. And it's, the hospital 740 sort of is symbolic of, that everyone is going to die, but that happens suddenly without him wanting, and you guys actually wanting to die, and it's not actually happening. So the title, I think, actually kind of works. It was just the imagery, everything on the bars and stuff. If it was just the two hilarious characters, Jim said it was quite Slava-esque, Slava Snow Show, with the sort of characters and expressions and stuff. Even if it's just those two sort of sitting on a bench, doing those faces that you're doing so well, sort of surprise, kind of.
It was all in your eyes, everything you were doing. I was just looking at your eyes because you could see them moving the whole time, and the beards really added to that.
Well, that's something we need to really, when we have a director.
He wanted to take away the beards 2 days ago.
Well, I was happy.
Thanks God. And I have another question about the story, because we wrote this, no? And what you don't understand, or what it makes you think? Do you think about death? Do you think about love? Do you think about two persons they meeting? You think about okay, he step into my place, and something at the place the love comes. What do you think? It's understandable, or would you change something? Would you add something?
The desire for companionship, isn't it? I don't know if anyone else got that.
Yeah, the moments between you two were like really nice. Like just the little moments, like the cuddle and like the first kiss, they were really nice little moments.
And like putting the lipstick on under the beard. Touches like that.
But I think probably more of that. I think more of them could be added in.
Yeah.
Like the rose moment?
Yeah.
Like these moments?
Yeah.
When it was a year later, I wasn't quite sure what was happening there. Were we supposed to go, they've been together a year, therefore it's gone pear-shaped, or were they? Do you see what I mean?
That's the middle of the show. What you saw in the end was the middle of the show.
Yeah, because I gave a false cue. What should have been after that 1 year bit should have been the beach scene.
Ah, okay.
And then Love Me Tender comes after the first kiss.
Okay.
So there is a tomorrow. The tomorrow moment, that is the center of the show, and it grows in the 1 year later, the winking game, kiss, and then I would step out and you would say, if tomorrow would go, if you die tomorrow, where you would go, I would go to the seaside. The seaside would come just later. So.
Okay. Is the back of your flyer, like your copy, that's the word, I was going to say blurb, but that's not English. I wouldn't have got that from your...
That was what we wrote for James to be a part of your festival.
Yeah.
That's what you actually had.
I kind of read it and went,
what is it?
But also kind of like, reading it, I was like, I'm not sure I want to, which I really enjoyed it, but I was kind of sitting there going, I'm not sure I want to read, I'm not sure I'd want to see that reading it. So I have, obviously, if it's a thing James.
Yeah, that will be changed after this.
That's totally. As I've said, you've done 2 performances now. That's something that you can really kind of explore and expand on.
And you've also done the performances before you've even kind of finished it, which is giving you even more insight because you're getting it's a growing process because you know what's working as you're adding to it and putting it all together. So you can see the moments where people are laughing and see the bits that they're liking while you're still doing it. You've already got that live experience. You know how it's actually going to fit to other audiences when you've put it all kind of together. I guess
it's almost like doing kind of test showings of a film. You do one draft, you show it to people. Does it work? Oh, we'll do another one, and then another draft comes out and. You could show another selection of people or another show. Or
that's what we're just coming back next year. We try it. We try to come back to Bedford. That was a beautiful experience. So if you would add something, what would you add?
More music, I think. Maybe.
More music.
Yeah, not necessarily to in between scenes, but even just for you to be reacting to. I think the thing with the cup. I can really see that.
Yeah, you see what I mean. It would be fantastic if you can a music number.
Yeah.
Actually, that imagine was like we have 2 cardboard box where we have a real life inside and a lot of cups that we would take out and have real number. I think Fred Astaire, I think we would go to Fred Astaire in one moment.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic because then you've got your world and then obviously the world that we see that's around you. That would be lovely.
I think that is our next direction.
Your whole kind of like your world and kind of looking at it from our point of view is just kind of quite fascinating as well. I'm just trying to think of something that kind of.
Well, because otherwise, why would you say that Death's a woman, which is kind of unusual, and you know that she's going to come up? Do you know what I mean? So already, right from the beginning, you kind of set that up that you have this world.
Yeah, definitely.
And we want to be more part of it. Yeah, I've never heard. I mean, it's very rarely.
So that is also because of the mix of two countries.
Yeah, but it's rarely.
But that's interesting.
Female in just general terms.
I have just a suggestion. If we would have a kind of tissue where we would project in a moment, for example, an image of a falling sofa, a poetical image, would you see that inside, or the video would destroy?
I don't think it needs it.
No.